I came across a really good deal on Marketplace, and for 50 bucks, picked up a Traxxas Nitro Sport that's in okay condition. I'll get a few things I'll replace on and put back to factory, but for the most part, I'll post this back up for sale for probably about 60 bucks up to probably 100, depending on how well or if I can get the old Pro 15 started and see what other parts I've got that are in these boxes. The biggest thing was for 50 bucks with all this is a Kyosho Optimum Turbo Mid. It's the short wheelbase RC or version of one of these with the aluminum pan and the graphite upper plate with the belt drive instead of chain drive with the graphite shock towers and the silver plated looking shocks. It's one of the more desirable ones, and I haven't even done anything with this yet other than just pull them out of the box I just drove the Festiva to pick them up with. So the chassis, it's not perfect, but it's not really going to take much for me to clean this up and get this really looking good. It's got the old Trinity Speed Gem still in it. It's probably something I could sell between $20 to $40 by itself, depending on how clean it turns out. And I'll put an old Mabuchi motor on this if I can help it. I do have a Kyosho remote and receiver that I've been keeping around just for something like this to pop up. And going from that, we'll see what else we've got. This was a cool find. I don't come across stuff this unique and rare often. Stuff like this is what's always around here. If I feel like it, I might make this electric. The Magnum transmission, these is bulletproof. I've seen like big block engines in these and like Traxxas 3.3s and all that fun stuff. Nice. Might fix that. Okay, is this latched? Yes. What another thing is somewhere in here we've got, it's either a trendy pair of shocks or it's a old Option House Kyosho red set of shocks that I see in the listing. And depending on what they are, I can get a pretty good price out of these. And they are the Option House ones, or sorry, the Trinity ones. So I can get these cleaned up and rehab or fill them up with shock oil and probably sell these for about 20 bucks each, or with a pair I mean. These, I'm not certain what they are from. They look like the Duratrax ones. They're prone to having a leaking seal at the bottom of, so they're not as desirable, but I can use them for one of my rougher builds. Looks like we got an armature inside of this. I see an old school Dean's plug in the corner there. Yep, nothing much in this one to talk about. I figure I would go over with all this stuff I'm seeing with you guys, because this is literally just how I categorize and find stuff I can actually resell and use for projects. Like this, I know this is some kind of tire I've seen on a few of the old magazine listings. I just can't think of the name of it, but I'll definitely use it for some projects. That is a Bowlink wheel, given the two holes in the huge hub size. This would be on something like one of the early buggies that they had that I still can't remember the name of, but it was like mid-70s, early 80s that tire would date back to. Kyosho wheel for a earlier Optima. And this is the giveaway that it was a Kyosho Turbo Optima Mid. This would have been the factory wheel that would have gone with that buggy over there. Do we have a matching set? Okay, just need one more. Watch, I won't have one more. Old school Proline wheel. More of those other Kyosho wheels. So at least that's a set. And we got a few front and rear. Oh, hey arms. This I didn't even realize I had or was getting in the listing. If my camera will focus. This by itself, I can just clean up the armature end of it and put in a few screws that's missing and clean up what solder job was done on it. And with how the label is a big deal on these old school mod motors, I can probably sell it for around 20 bucks. I just wish my camera would focus for you guys. Sorry about that. I'm not going to put that on the floor. that one's going to be a good one to get some money out of. Do we have anything else useful? Oh, the second one? Okay, this was a pretty good score. I was not expecting that either. So, we've got the factory bumper, which I was worried about not having. I was going to have to come up with something like a BRP aftermarket one I had a spare of. And nothing special for a battery charger, except a few more wheels and tires. Do we have the Optima Mid tire I'm looking for? What's this? It's going to be the Custom Works body stuff. Don't know yet. Not super familiar with that brand. Snake some more of this stuff out. I see a Kyosho wheel I was hoping I would see. Sweet. That'll get cleaned up with the other three, and we'll have a set to put back on the RC. And then just some random other like tires. Nothing super special with batteries other than just display stuff. I don't get a lot out of them because they're kind of like a boat anchor with them being a NiCad. It's hard for NiCads actually, how I say, the more you cycle and use a battery that's a NiCad, the more memory it builds up, so it's harder for it to hold a charge before it false peaks, and it's early battery stuff for RCs. They're not great for memory. Put it this way, it's like a modern Tesla after 10 years of use, and these batteries will break down in, say, a few months instead of a few years kind of thing. So, I guess I could use that for bodywork stuff. Okay. Got shock oil we can use for rebuilding some of those shocks we were talking about. And this is... what is this? Okay, this could have been like a sprint wing or something on the side of one of the buggy bodies I've seen on these things. Let's say Dominator. Yeah, so this would have been for like a sprint car body that would have been on that Optima, judging by the rest of the parts I'm seeing. Okay. Doesn't look like we're going to find much else special in here other than just... I know I should be familiar with that name, but it escapes me right now for what that kit was. I was hoping we would see some Kyosho paperwork. Oh well. Oh, hey, this is one for the motors. Sweet. Alright, let's see what else we got in the other little box. Nothing much in here other than just some tires that'll go to that buggy or RC. Got the Traxxas remote that'll go to this at least. Okay, this is already looking like it's a spare parts to go to the Traxxas Nitro Sport. Sorry about that. Yeah, because that's just a glow plug that would have gone to start that. And that's a bit strange. It's like rough cut steel blanks that would be for a shock tower. That's crazy. I guess I see why. That's not exactly straight. And at least we got another tire to go with the back of that. So that's something. What's that down here? Okay, that would be the starter that it's missing right now. I can put that back together. I'm assuming that was part of their exhaust they had on that at one point. And a few tools I can use for actual automotive stuff. Cool. Well, that pretty much covers everything. Best thing out of the lot is the Kyosho Turbo Optima Mid buggy that we can somewhat restore to post for sale, and those twister motors. That'll just be a fun little thing to basically clean up a little bit and flip though. Alright, see you guys next time. I was putting stuff away, heard a rattle in this hammer, and realized it's one of the old school ones where you take it apart and you've got a screwdriver inside, so that was kind of a neat little surprise. Anyways, back to this. This is a BRP 1/24th, like stock car RC you could order in the mail. This is from around the mid-90s. I just haven't had time to work on this at all, but part of why I picked it up is it's got a factory Kyosho Pulsar remote and receiver on this thing, which coincidentally enough, before I even done anything to this, someone's willing to buy it for like 130 bucks. So I'm already making my money back from the whole lot, and that's because I've only got like 30 bucks on that thing because no one knew what that it was, and it just worked out really good for everything involved. So I'll make a proper video for this later on. I just wanted to basically get this little clip added in because it's already sold before I've done a thing to it. So I'll see you guys soon.